Hello, and welcome to Lab Assignment CIT-06-L3 Search Operators. In this episode, we'll go over learn how to use search operators in Splunk, and we will use different search operators to filter log searches. This lab should take somewhere about 15 to 20 minutes, and our requirements, we should have a basic working knowledge of Splunk. As far as environment and tools, you should have VirtualBox with Ubuntu, which is what I have here. And this should already have Splunk. The assumption here is that this is a continuation of previous exercise in the CIT-06 series. So L1 and L2 should be already done, and you are continuing from that point. We will also need a Windows 10 machine, which is what we have here. And depending on how you have your environment, I assume that you will have DHCP assigning IP addresses to these host devices, so pfSense should be running and doling out IPs to these devices as well. Okay, so let's get started. We're on page 3, and step 1, it says start your Ubuntu machine, click Activities, which we're doing here, and open up a terminal session. So we open up a terminal session, and it says display the host name. So I'm going to type host name, and it says save this host name. So this is the host name that we're looking for, John-VirtualBox in my case. I'm just going to keep my VM up and running because I can copy and paste later. Then on page 4, it says start the Windows 10 machine, search for CMD and open it. So we're going to open CMD, which is the command line, and I'm going to type the same command here, and I get a host name of desktop sen9mm2. Okay, so I have my host names. So it says let's go back to our Ubuntu machine and use the command sudo splunk. So I just want to give myself a little bit more real estate here. I don't think we need our Windows 10 machine anymore. I'm going to open up my command line just to make it a little bit bigger so we can see what's going on here. And I'm going to sudo opt splunk bin splunk start. And of course, it's the sudo command, and Splunk is starting up. And in this case here, it says click on Firefox and put in the browse, and browse to localhost port 8000. I also see it here. I'm going to be a little lazy, and I'm going to actually open the link, and it'll spawn Firefox because that's the only browser I have installed. It's my default browser anyway, and it takes me to the Splunk Enterprise screen that you see here. I put in the password, and I do not want to show the password, and I do not want to save it. And it says login failed. And mainly because login failed. Oh, I had the numlock on. And admin is misspelled. Must be getting late in the day. Okay, so these are those little silly things that happen from time to time. Okay, so I am now on page 6, and it says click search and reporting in Splunk. And once Splunk loads up in the search criteria, we're going to query the host in with the host name of your Windows 10 device and the host name of your Ubuntu. So I think we saw that already. If we haven't, this is my host name of my Ubuntu device. Let's just get another tab going here. Let's just do host name. So these are the devices that we were talking about where we can go and get the host name. And we did the same thing on Windows. So I'm going to go ahead and put that command in here, and I'm going to paste it in. I'm going to take this command. I'm going to copy. I'm going to paste. And I actually might even just build this in here. So let's just go ahead and see what that looks like. So I have the in, I have the Ubuntu. Now, obviously, I don't have to put in this information in here, right? These are placeholders or variables. So let's go ahead and replace this with the host name of our Windows 10 PC name and our Ubuntu host PC name. Now keep in mind, you do not need this greater than and less than signs. So I'm actually going to paste the entire comment, the entire line in here. So it's host in. My Windows 10 device is desktop send, what you see here, and the John VirtualBox is what you see here. So let's go ahead and do a search and let's see what do we get. And you see that we now have display logs from the John VirtualBox, which is my Ubuntu box. And I see things coming out of varlog, syslog, and quite a bit of activity because we've been working on a number of exercises. And if I go a couple of pages deep, I should see some Windows 10 stuff as well. Let's just see. Matter of fact, let's go all time just to make sure we're not missing anything. And sure enough, here we are. We have desktop, nothing as of late. I just wanted to make sure we had different things so we can show that we're seeing both machines because of the in command. Okay, so let's go to our next one. In this one here, we're going to query the source, and we're looking at varlog, and the status code is 200, which is success, or a page not found, a 404 error in a web. I copy the whole thing, I get rid of this, I paste, and source equal varlog. I need some spaces here. I want to make sure that these Boolean operators and or are showing, and my open in parens, I have the right source here. I click search, and I get the exact hits that I'm looking for. I'm looking for anything in the varlog and status code equals 200 or status code is 404. That is step number 5. In this one, we're going to use an AND operator. We're looking for anything with the success code of 200 and also in the varlog Apache access.log files. So I'll get rid of this string here. I copied and pasted what was here. Notice I have a little bit of space here. I need to see these Boolean operators kind of color coded. In this case, mine is orange. I click the search box, and I'm seeing some good hits of my Apache.log, and the status code is 200. And then I have one more, which is I'm going to source this one here. In this code, I'm going to copy and paste from the instructions. I get rid of this. In the search field, source varlog is not. So we're looking for anything that is not the URL random. I'm going to search. And I'm finding everything that did not have the request underscore URL random. This takes me to the end of my results page and also takes me to the end of the lab. I hope you found this useful. See you at the next one.